Yo, what's happening, FableSquad? We're back again. Guys, I've actually been reading your responses on the Candy video that I did, the Candy reaction. And I honestly thought I'd get some backlash, but you guys are actually awesome, man. You guys were saying that it's understandable reaction, blah blah blah. I'm always going to just be real with you, man. If I like something, I like something. If I don't like something, I don't like something. But I appreciate the responses. I appreciate the fact that you guys are sort of understanding that, I'll always give you my real feelings on a particular topic or a particular song. Another thing that I actually wanted to say was just bear with me before you go and skip ahead and stuff like that. There's two things I'd like to say. Firstly, I'm going to get to every single one of these MGK tracks. Even when MGK week ends, I will get to these MGK tracks. I promise you, I'll do every single one for you guys. So just bear with me. I know some of you have requested certain things or whatever else, and I'm literally just doing a straight out the hat type vibe. So just to make it fair, I'm not picking and choosing. I'm literally just randomizing this. And another thing I'd actually like to talk about was I was actually watching some reactors, reacting to Hotel Diablo, the whole album and a couple of tracks, the tracks that I've particularly reacted to. I didn't want to go into the other ones because I haven't done those yet. But there was a particular reactor, and I'm not going to say his name because I actually like him and I like his reaction channel. It was saying that the album for him was negative, and that he doesn't like that. So he wasn't, he's not into that whole vibe and whatever else. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I get that that's his opinion and whatever else, but how much music do we have out there that's genuinely negative? I think we've actually skewed our perception in terms of what negative is. This is an album of a man talking about his life. This is an album of a man talking about the situations he was going into his life. The introspection that you need and the awareness that you need to actually be able to lay this kind of music down and give it to your fans. You know how much character that takes? Do you know how much self-awareness that takes? And that in itself is actually very positive. I don't see it as negative. I find that to be very positive. It's somebody who's now becoming self-aware, knowing that they've got problems in his life and trying to deal with them, whether it's through music, whether it's through therapy. It doesn't actually matter. I don't know the avenues that he's taking. But the one avenue that I can see he's taking is he's talking about it through his music. And that, for me, I think is his therapy. Now, we're consistently listening to rap music where they're consistently saying this one getting shot up, and we're going to kill this one and drive over this one, and all that like bullshit sort of which I find as negative talk. The shooting this one up, the driving this one over, the Gucci ganging this one, the this and that. Come on, man. Like, we've got so much negative stuff out there and whatever else that when we hear it, we're like, oh my God, listen to the bars. But then somebody pours his soul down in a track, and then all of a sudden, no, this is a negative. This is a negative album, and I don't do negative. This is a positive album. I found this to be a very positive album. This guy's laying down his life. Every single person was sitting there looking at him and saying, it's just this druggie who's trying to compete with Eminem and blah 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 blah. Then he brings out a real album, and then everyone's like, oh no, this is a negative. No, this is a negative guy. What does MGK have to do for people to actually appreciate his music? I don't understand that. If you don't like his songs, fine, I get that, but saying it that, oh no, I just, it's a negative album, I don't like the album because it's negative and its replay values is very, very low because I don't fuck with negative albums. This is a positive album for me, man. Seriously. And I understand it's his opinion, and I'll respect that, and I really, really like him as a reactor. And look, he's much bigger than me. I'm still very small time and whatever else, and I consistently watched his channel. And I don't want to say who it is, but I disagree with it. I disagree with that because there are a lot of tracks that were listened to, that were heard, by other artists that really say negative stuff about drugs and HD vision and I got high and drunk, call it HD vision. That's something you taking drugs and getting drunk. You passing that off as cool. Running someone over, like on the Homicide track with Eminem saying, "I ran them over, shot up in the Rover," blah blah blah. Promoting violence as cool. You know what I mean? That for me is negative. This is something that MGK laid down his art. And don't make no mistake, I love those songs that they're talking about or whatever else, and it's basically how you see it. But then again, same needs to apply to MGK's music. It's how you see it. This is a therapy session for MGK. This is him laying down his emotions on paper and then singing about it and putting his dirt out there to the world. That for me says that he's on the right track, right? So maybe it's just how people see it. I respect his opinion on it, but I disagree with it. So yeah, man, let's get into it, man. See My Tears, let's go. Haven't heard this, but guys, you've been requesting this massively, and I'm so glad that this actually popped up in my randomization story. Right, guys, let's go.
You gotta speak from your heart, and it gets harder every time. That's all I'm trying to say.
I love you so much, dude. You guys are so inspirational to me. You don't even know, dude. You guys make my life.
I've told you this many times, man. Currency, emotional currency.
Better, dude.
I don't have a powerful voice 24/7. It doesn't work like that.
Y'all both going to jail if this nigga decide to press charges.
So I know what the fuck is going on. I'm not that nigga.
Man, I love this type of thing. I love this type of vocal that, hey, hey. I love that kind of thing, man. Because when you even if you just put people talking or saying something motivational on top of that, it amplifies it. I love that. Just from I love creating like cinematic stuff. And one day I'll show you guys the kind of sort of videos that we're going to create. I'll do something very different. But I love that. This gets you grinding, man. It gets you, oh God, I love it.
Just shake my hand, dog. Just shake my hand. Just shake my hand, boy. That's all I want.
Well, he met MGK over the summer, promised him that he'd one day walk, and thanks to MGK's music this weekend.
I love seeing stuff like this, man. This is awesome. Any artist, doesn't have to be MGK, any artist that has got this sort of like tolerance and love for their fans, man, has got my heart.
He did.
Every day I wake up to the same shit in the same house with the same bricks in the same clothes with the same kicks. I might as well be in jail, caged in, staring at the wall waiting for a change. But Dad tell him
I might as well be in jail being caged in, man. Saying that he wakes up in the same house, the same place, and he feels caged in still.
I gotta get a job, could've paid a bill so the lights turned off. Them Cleveland boys got a heart. Oh my God, we been living like this too long, just to lose it all in a week. My people too strong.
My people too strong. This man loves his fans, man. I love that.
Puffin' all weed like this too long. Me and my boys tired of being here. That is why we gone. They said we wouldn't amount to nothing, huh? Y'all thought we was bluffing, huh? Thought every temptation shit. I guess I'm David Ruffin, huh? Nowadays we don't gotta.
Man, this guy seems like he lays it all out on the stage, man. Every video I've watched of his just looks like he just leaves it all on the stage, man. Seriously, he looks like an insanity performer, man. I'd love to see one of his concerts.
That dirt, tell my boys they good. And nowadays my little girl won't have to work. Move her out the hood. Look, man, I've been through it all. And I'ma be damned if I got this far and I let them strip me of this message. Let these haters take my heart.
Exactly. I'll be damned if I got this far and let these haters take my heart, man. There's no flipping way. And this is what I'm talking about. This guy's got character, man. It takes so much, man. He's been through so much. And like I've said in my previous video, just like Eminem has been, man. Eminem has also been through so much. And what I appreciate about Eminem was the fact that he grinded through it and he made something of his dreams, man. And he achieved it. He got there. This man's doing the same goddamn thing, man. Same goddamn thing with all the haters. I think he's one of the most hated artists today. And there's so many haters against this man. And I think no one can really give you a reason. I think people are just like, oh no, he took on Eminem. Why? Well, I understand. I am the biggest stan, you know that. But what are you defending Eminem's integrity for, man? He can defend himself. Everybody knows he's a god. You are defending the loyalty. You are loyally defending an artist, which I can understand. But someone who's firstly a millionaire, secondly, the best in the industry, known by everybody, including EMGK, and you still need to run to his defense? Why? Why? Eminem does not need to be defended. Gods don't need to be defended. Everybody knows he's great. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
For the ones that had it hard, the ones like me, the underdog. This for the ones that waited for them clouds to fall. Please, God, let it.
So we have this special page that started out kind of like for like the really hardcore EST fans. They just do so much for us, and I wanted to do a little thing for them, so I just had them submit their numbers, and I'm just giving them all calls and just letting them know how much I appreciate them.
Man, I like him, man. I like him. Guys, if you Eminem fans or you stans or whatever else, hey, man, hate this video, man. I don't care. I like him, man. I got nothing against this man, man. You know what? When I'll be honest with you, I'll level with you, man. When Killshot came out, I'm like, oh, can you believe this guy going up against the God, man? After taking this journey, man, you know what? All for it, man. All for it. I'm glad he went up against Eminem. And you know why? Because this man shows character. This man shows balls. Not Eminem would have always won that battle. Eminem could have written 3 damn lines in that diss track and he would have won it automatically because he's Eminem, right? But you gotta give respect to a man that is not in that status to take on a god. Know what I mean? And the funny thing is, the world are all about underdogs. All about underdogs. Everyone always wants to support the underdog, whether it's in the sports or whatever else. And somehow in the music industry, somehow you took on a god in the music industry, and as the underdog, you're the dick. You're the arsehole. Why? Give him props, man. He took on a god. The god was never going to lose, ever. We all know this. He didn't have to say much, and he wouldn't have lost. His following, everything is massive. And I know, because I am a mad fan of his. I'm just saying, why not give the underdog in this situation some props?
I'm only on number 83 right now. I got 300 plus more to go.
What's up? Is this Robin?
Yeah.
This is Machine Gun Kelly.
Who is that?
And they mad that I made it out the city. But if you look up, still out in the city. Before everything, I had clout in the city. Toured the states and never bounced on the city. Shout out to everybody that's proud in the city. Everybody cheering in the crowd from the city. Everyone that never had doubts in the city, cause they know I represent what we about in the city. And them
Yes, he looks like he grinds on that stage, man. Jeez, that looks like he's just mad, man. Looks like it's mad. Looks like he loves every second of what he does on that stage.
Tell the world ain't nothing's changed. Till it's $100 bills in my pockets and nothing's changed. If my team ain't with me, then I don't wanna stand. Tell them I'll go broke before I run out on my gang. EST over everything. 100,000 plus. Cold fan base, yeah, that is us. My songs tattooed on their body. Troubled you, we bad as fuck.
I like when he said EST over everything, man. This guy sticks to a belief, and I love that. And it's his own belief. And I think, you know what I mean? And the thing is that I also find that a lot of people follow other people's arguments. Like, whose argument is that? When you sitting there and saying, oh, no, MGK saying, have you heard any of his stuff? Whose argument are you following? You're blindly following some argument that you had no part of. Somebody else has just made a preconceived idea of a particular person, and you're like, yeah, he's fucking right, because he took on a god. No, man, I've got to say it, man. I've got to say it. I'm sorry. And I am a monster Eminem fan, man. For those of you who want to hate, I'm a monster Eminem fan, man. But you know what? You gotta give people their due, man. You gotta give people their due. Fair is fair.
And what? Nobody gave a shit for broken mirrors, so I care less about appearance, just as long as they can hear us. We're fearless, we're stupid, we're dealers, we're losers, we're killers, we're orphans, we're addicts, we're stealers.
are what they say we are until conformity hits us. Oh, oh, love that line. I'm going to use that. So MGK, I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that for something. I don't know what, but I'm going to steal it.
All those clouds come down and take them all with us, please, God, lady. You can't see my tears in the...
Imagine this in a concert. Well, you guys have probably already experienced
No fucking
it.
rappers ever pulled a bigger girl on stage, ever. Every fucking single show I've ever watched has never done that shit. And you do that for me. Like, that is beyond fucking amazing.
All around the world it's just the same. You can't see my tears in the... No, so I let it rain.
Man, this guy's got so much emotion, man. I can see it in people. I promise you I can see it in people. I'm a very, very emotional person. And you can see this character's got heart, man. You can see MGK's got heart. This guy's all heart. This guy's all passion. So that's why when I say if you lay something down that's perceived as negative on an album, it's because he's pouring his heart. It's because he's got feeling. It's because he's got emotion. There's nothing negative about that. He's trying to deal with his own demons inside him. And that's the best way he knows how to do it. And he did it. He hung his laundry out to dry in front of the world. Respect, man. Respect.
These are kids who don't have it. I speak for the kids who don't have shit. I'm not asking you to hook on to my shit like this. You don't have to. I'm just asking you to find something in your life that makes you happy, whether it's my music, whether it's music, period. So you can judge me, you can take anything how you want, you can take my image and flip it and say I'm this, say I'm that. That's all I want to do. And I did all that shit with this. A piece of paper and some words, man.
What did I just say? What did I just say? Fuck, man. This is what he is about. This is what changes the world. I said this in my last video. This is what changes the world. And you don't need to love him. And he doesn't care if you hate him or love him. He's doing this for the people who need him. He's doing this for the people who can relate to him. He's doing this for the people who, here's a little story, man. You know when people say you've got to change the world, and people say, how am I going to change the world? It's just me. You can change the world, man. You don't understand that just you has a ripple effect. Just you has a ripple effect. Now, we're not even talking about MGK because he creates monster ripple effects, right? But you as one individual person who nobody knows, you have got a ripple effect. And I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why, because you can leave a mark regardless of how small it is. And the thing is that even let's say you say, okay, well, you're driving on the street and you see a beggar on the side of the road, in the cold asking for money, right? And you don't have any money on you and you're like, well, I couldn't help him because I had no money. But that's bullshit, because you could. Because what's it going to take you for you to stop at a robot and say, tell that beggar, you know what, I've got no money for you, man. But you know what? It's going to take about a minute or two for that robot to change, man. Jump in my car, man. At least get warm for 2 minutes. At least get warm for 2 minutes. Before I drive off. When I drive off, you're going to have to jump out of the car, but at least get warm for 2 minutes. I got no money to give you. Who's he going to remember? The thousands of people who gave him a dime? Or the one person who took their time and said, hey man, get some warmth. This is what it's about. Change the world. I've said what I'm about to say, man. Like, comment down below. This was beautiful. Love that. All you guys recommended this. Beautiful, man. Like below, comment, subscribe. Guys, go to my Instagram as well if you guys want to have chats there. I'm out. Peace.